Welcome back to our journey through the book of Genesis. In the last episode, we saw Abraham's faith tested on Mount Moriah and God's faithful provision. Today, we continue with a quieter but deeply meaningful moment in Abraham's life, the death and burial of Sarah, his beloved wife. Sarah, the woman who laughed at God's promise and later gave birth to Isaac in her old age, lived to be 127 years old. At that time, she passed away in Kiriath Arba, also known as Hebron, in the land of Canaan. Abraham was heartbroken. The Bible tells us that he mourned and wept for Sarah, a tender picture of a husband grieving the partner who had walked with him through every promise, every trial, and every journey. But Abraham knew his journey with God was not just about mourning. It was also about faith in the promises yet to come. He didn't own any land in Canaan, the land God had promised him. And now, with Sarah's death, he needed a place to bury her. So Abraham approached the Hittites, the people living in the land, and asked for a burial site. Out of respect for Abraham, a man known as a prince of God among them, the Hittites offered him any of their tombs for free. But Abraham insisted on paying full price. He wanted a permanent possession in the land, not just a borrowed grave. So he negotiated with Ephron, a Hittite, for the cave of Machpelah near Mamre. Ephron at first offered it as a gift, but Abraham humbly declined, saying he would pay the price. The deal was settled for 400 shekels of silver, a very large amount for that time. And so Abraham secured the field and the cave legally, in the presence of witnesses. This cave of Machpelah became the first piece of land Abraham owned in Canaan, a down payment on the promise God had given him that his descendants would inherit the land. And there, Abraham laid Sarah to rest. It's a quiet chapter, but it speaks volumes. Even in sorrow, Abraham's actions showed faith. He believed God's promises were real, and buying that land was an act of hope, trusting that God's word would come to pass. Sparkles, and so ends the story of Sarah, the mother of nations, remembered not only for her laughter, but for her role in God's eternal plan. Stay tuned for the next episode, where we'll see Abraham's servant sent on a mission to find a wife for Isaac, an incredible story of prayer, providence, and God's guidance.